Hello again, my friends. Welcome to our third devotional in the area of marriage and family. We looked at the whole aspect of devotion, the ability to devote yourself to each other and to God. We also looked at the place of compromise and how that can affect a relationship. We are now in chapter 12 and verse 9 to 16, and we want to look at how we can demonstrate the attributes of love in our relationship. When you look at Romans 12, 9 to 16, it says love must be sincere. So we're talking here about integrity of love. Love has been defined in many ways today. Others have just, it's an attraction. Others, it's a way they feel about each other. There's this chemistry. But friends, feelings, chemistry, attraction, they end. Sadly, they do. There are moments when the rubber hits the road and you begin to differ on things, and you begin to realize, hey, what is really love? And you come to discover that the definition of love is no longer how we defined it, because then love, according to 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1 to 8, it talks about love being, it's not language, just language. You know, if you speak in the language of angels and all that, and you don't have love, it's nothing. It's empty. So your words must be accompanied by strong action that shows devotion, that shows love, that is devoid of compromise. So love must be sincere. He says, hate what is evil, cling to what is good. This is calling us to keeping the marriage bed pure, keeping our relationships pure, that we are not a people who are accompanying ourselves with wrong people. Today's world is peddling a lot of things, you know. It's peddling sex, peddling pornography, it's peddling violence, things that really destroy the mind and the family. I think your children need to know they are loved. Love must be sincere, it must be pure. They must see you live in purity with your spouse. They must see you, that your actions and your faith are consistent. They don't see you as different at home and different when you go to work and different when you go to meet your friends. You must be consistent. That's what we mean by sincerity of love and purity of love. Verse 10, chapter 12, verse 10, it says, devote to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. So he's talking about the value we place on each other. See, when we devote to one another in love, that means you give of yourself to your partner, to your children. They must see that beyond money, you care. You know their friends, you know how they live, you know where they go, you are interested in their growing up. This is part of our devotion, friends. Our devotion is not just, I'm devoted, I'm working so hard for them. For them who? They are your children. Your spouse is your spouse. When you stood in the altar, when you promised them of love, this love you promised them was, love is patient, love is enduring, love does not keep a record of wrongs. This is what you committed to. You didn't commit yourself to some illusion somewhere. So when you look at the Bible, it begins to give us direction on how we live with each other, on how we treat each other. Show value by being devoted to one another and honoring one another above yourselves. I think that's the hardest, to begin to think about your partner as greater than you, as more important than you, as thinking better than you, as doing things better than you. For a long time, I've always told my wife, I appreciate her, that she brings a lot of reason into the relationship. I affirm her through my words, and with the time, she's grown up so much, and she sees me the same way, and she tells me, you bring so much into our relationships, and you're dreaming, the way you think about things. So Even in places where I would think that I'm not as good, I'm able to believe in her because she believes in me. Her words to me become very key. So we need to value our partner, our children, above something else. When you think about people and jobs these days, that's why I'm thinking coronavirus has done a good job for us to keep us indoors. You look at how we have valued our jobs. Some of us have never been seen home during the day. We are gone and gone. Kids will see us the last 1 hour before they go to bed. But thank God, at least you can work at home, get angry. They can see you get angry at home so that you can work through your anger and become a better father, become a better mother. Because this is important for your growth. It's better that these things come out now than present a picture of Mrs. Good and Mr. Good, but really speaking, you are rotting inside. You are not you. So I think we need to use this time to really grow in who we are becoming. In verse 11, it says, never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. So we need to be sold out for God. We need to practice our spirituality in the home. Our kids need to see that our convictions, our values, the way we live and treat each other are based upon something that they can admire to be a part of. Some of us actually have killed the faith of our children. We've killed the faith of our spouses because of the names we have called them, because of the way we have treated them. We have not shown them with zeal that we believe in them, that we trust them, that they are special. And I think when we don't do that, we leave a gap and the enemy fills it in. Other people fill it in. In fact, most of our young people who have ended up in drugs and indecent behavior come from really affluent families. Whichever family it is in, you find that kids don't really hear the heart of who we are and how we value them. Verse 12 says, be joyful in hope, patient in affliction. So as we rejoice about the things that are good, let's also be patient when things are not good. So be patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. So there is this aspect of hope and thankfulness in things that are going well. There is this other area of being patient because things are not so good. And then there is this other area where we trust everything to God and we go by prayer. And that's what we mean by being enduring, persevering. Love is enduring. Love is persevering. And the last verse I want to deal with there is verse 13. Share with the Lord's people who are in need. And I think this is being mindful of each other. I think every morning when you wake up, try and ask your spouse, how can I help you? Ask your children, how can I help you? And children can ask their parents, how can I help you? I mean, we have to be servant leaders who know how best to care for each other. One day I asked myself, yes, I'm loving my wife, but have I ever asked her how I should love her? And one day I asked her, how do I love you? And she had a totally different way of wanting to be loved. And I think it's something we need to think about. How do we love each other? There you go. Chapter 12, verse 9 to 16. We have looked at how to demonstrate the attributes of love. I pray that you will go and practice this. And when we meet next time, we'll be looking at verse 14 onwards. God bless you. It was nice being with you. Let's meet next time as we move into management. All right. God bless. Bye-bye.